Hello, everyone. Welcome to my week 6 constituent casework ethics training. For this training, my audience will be new and existing state office employees who assist with constituent casework. I chose to focus on ethics and constituent casework because employees can work with a lot of personal and sometimes sensitive information while helping constituents. Casework can also require working with different departments, and sometimes a case may need a warm handoff to another government office, such as congressional offices, U.S. Senate offices, county, and another agency that is better able to assist. During that process, employees may need to share information to help connect the constituent with the appropriate office or agency. Because of that, it's really important that employees understand confidentiality, professional boundaries, and how to appropriately handle and share information. By the end of the training, employees should understand how to provide assistance while still protecting the constituent and their personal information. For my video strategy, I decided to use Canva to create the presentation. It allows me to make the training more engaging and easy to follow while also displaying key information throughout the video. I also like that I can go back and update the presentation as needed, especially if policies change next year. After completing this training, I will upload the video to YouTube so employees can easily access it again if they need to rewatch the training or refresh themselves on a specific topic. This also allows the training to continue being used as a resource for both new and existing employees. For this training, I'm using 5 concepts from Chapter 9 that will help guide how I present the information and how employees are able to apply it to their work. The 5 concepts I focus on are motivation, relevance, transference, active participation, and feedback. For motivation, people can be more motivated when they are passionate about what they are doing, especially when their work involves helping others. I bring that into my training by connecting it back to the purpose of constituent casework. A lot of the time, constituents are calling because they are frustrated and need help resolving an issue. Sometimes that issue is creating a financial burden or other stress in their life. So it's important for employees to remember to stay calm, have empathy, and help the constituent while also making sure we are protecting them and their information. For relevance, the training should connect to situations employees are actually going to come across in their work. So instead of just talking about ethics in general, I use things we see in constituent casework like confidentiality, authorization forms, communicating with state departments, and warm handoffs to other government offices. There can also be other ethical situations like a constituent wanting to give you money or gift after you help them, or having a family member or friend ask you for help on their case. Employees may also work with DMV cases or professional licensing cases for nurses or nurse practitioners where personal information is being shared. All of these situations can bring up questions about confidentiality, fairness, and professional boundaries. Transference is taking what you learned during a training and being able to use it once you are actually doing the job. I do this by keeping the information connected to the casework process so employees can take what they learn here and use it when they are handling their own constituent cases. If an ethical situation comes up, whether it involves personal information, a gift, or someone they personally know, they should be able to recognize that there may be an ethical concern and know when they need to follow the appropriate process or ask for guidance. For active participation, people learn better when they actually get to participate instead of just sitting and listening. So during the training, I will use an EDD case as an example and walk through what we need before we can assist a constituent, including getting an authorization form before contacting EDD on their behalf. This gives employees an opportunity to actually think through how they would handle the case and what steps they need to take before sharing any information. And then lastly, I would use feedback. Feedback helps employees know what they are doing correctly and where they may need some guidance. After going through examples, I can go over to correct their steps and why we take them. That way, if something was missed, we can talk through it and make sure they understand what to do when they come across any similar case. Welcome to the training on constituent casework ethics. Today we're going to focus on some of the ethical situations that can come up when helping constituents and how we can make sure we are providing good service while also protecting the people we are helping. We'll go over protecting personal information, maintaining professional boundaries, treating constituents fairly, and what to do when you're unsure on how to handle a situation. We'll also walk through a case example to see how these ethical practices apply to the actual work we do. By the end of the training, you should have a better understanding of how to recognize an ethical concern and how to appropriately handle it while assisting a constituent. When working on a constituent case, we may need personal information like their name, date of birth, address, phone number, or social security number. We want to make sure we are collecting what we need, keeping the information secure, and only sharing it when appropriate. Before communicating with the State Department on someone's behalf, we also need the proper authorization. This is especially important because the information we handle could put someone at risk for identity theft or fraud if it's not protected. Let's take a look at a quick example. A constituent contacts the office because they are having an issue with their EDD benefits and need assistance. Before we can contact EDD on their behalf, we need the constituent to complete an authorization form. As you can see on the form, we need personal information to identify the constituent and their case. This is where confidentiality becomes important. We have permission to use this information for the case, but that does not mean it should be shared outside of who needs it to assist the constituent. So before moving forward with the case, we need to make sure to have proper authorization and signatures so the constituent's information is being handled appropriately. Ethical situations can also come up outside of protecting personal information. For example, a constituent may be really thankful for your help and offer money or a gift. Even when it comes from a good place, we still have to maintain professional boundaries and follow our office policies. Another situation could be a friend or family member asking for help with their case. We want to make sure we are treating everyone fairly and following the same process we would for any constituent. And if you ever come across a situation where you're not sure what is appropriate, ask your supervisor for guidance before moving forward. To wrap up, ethics is an important part of every constituent casework we work on. We want to provide the best assistance we can, but we also have a responsibility to protect personal information, follow the proper authorization process, and maintain professional boundaries. Every case may look a little different, so if you are ever unsure about how to handle a situation, ask questions and get guidance before moving forward. At the end of the day, the goal is to help our constituents while also making sure we are protecting them throughout the process.